Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our CFL Week 1 preview between the Montreal Alouettes and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And let's get into some keys to victory for both teams, starting with Montreal.
The Alouettes kick off the 2013 campaign with new head coach Dan Hawkins, and the good part about his job is that he inherits one of the best quarterbacks in CFL history. Anthony Cavillo is entering his 20th CFL season, 16 of which were spent in Montreal, and right off the bat I expect him to work the slot backs into this game early. That's Jamel Richardson, S.J. Green, Arlen Bruce, all of which are CFL All-Stars, but in a running game there's a question mark. No Brandon Whitaker or Jerome Messam this week, so we'll get an extended look at first-round draft pick Stephen Lambala out of Calgary. Interested to see what he can do on the ground. I think you're going to see a heavy dose of him, as well as some Noel Devine back there in the backfield. Now on the defense side of football, the question coming into the season was the pass rush. Can they get to the quarterback? Outside of John Bowman, an outstanding defensive end, there were a lot of questions about guys that can consistently get back there, but this is a unique case versus Winnipeg. They can't lose contain versus a guy like Buck Pierce that can do a lot of damage with his legs on the ground. And when you look at the linebacking core, Shea Emery and Chip Cox, both guys excel in pass coverage, but this week I think they're going to have to own the running game in order to get these guys off the field. At the safety position, Kyrese Hebert will have his fair share of opportunities to not only get kill shots, but also interceptions, and I do like what they have on the corners with the Parker brothers, Billy and Byron Parker. Both guys can match up well versus those bigger wide receivers of Winnipeg. When you look at the Bombers in this game, yes, they do have some size at wide receiver with Matthews, Etienne, Watson. All those guys are over 6'3", Matthews being 6'5", but having Terrence Edwards back, the slot back, healthy 100% is key. This is the guy that makes their offense go. They're going to work him in the offense very early, get that passing game going. And we look at Buck Pierce. We know how athletic he is. I have no problem with him running the football, getting outside of the pocket, extending plays and creating plays with his legs, but he has to learn how to slide and preserve his body for 18 games. In the backfield, I do expect these guys to load up on a running game. Chad Simpson rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. They're going to have to speed this game up by slowing it down. Work the running game, keep that defense of the Alouettes guessing. That way on play action, you can have a lot of success hitting those big plays downfield. Moving over to the defensive side of football, I think the linebackers will have to have a huge impact in this ball game in order for the Bombers to win. Hanek Mwamba, Terrell Parker, Pierre-Luc Labbé, all of those guys in the short area passing game, they're going to have to step up and make plays consistently, because we know Cavillo can get rid of that football quickly, and you don't want them to go on long sustained drives by chipping away with the short passing game. And they also can't be afraid to send extra, whether it be linebackers, cornerbacks, halfbacks. Don't be afraid to send extra to force him to get rid of that ball quickly so you can rally up, make plays, and get these guys off the field. Remember, it's all about possessions when you're playing a team like Montreal. The more possessions you have, the better chance you have to win. Now let's take a look at some coaching points for both teams. Dan Hawkins' first game, just coach. Don't try to do anything fancy. Don't try to set the tone. Just go out there and do what you do very well, and that's coach football. Second, get the running backs involved in the passing game. And finally, defensively, contain. You can't allow Buck Pierce to extend plays with his legs. For Winnipeg, the defensive line, you got to get your hands up at the line of scrimmage. As quick as Anthony Cavillo can get rid of that football, his passes come out flatline, so you can get those tip passes that could result in interceptions and misdirection running. Move the pocket for Buck Pierce, come back the other way with traps, draws, and that way you can have some success running the football. And we talked about this earlier. Winnipeg has to make this game a shorter game. That way they can have a chance to win in the fourth quarter. I like the Bombers in this ball game. I think Montreal coming in without their two key running backs, Brandon Whitaker and Jerome Messam, is enough to knock off the offense just a little bit. We know they can throw the football, but they're going to have to find some balance. I think Winnipeg's balance will be enough to get the victory in week 1. Being able to run the football with that big offensive line that they have, and defensively having guys in the secondary that can make plays on the ball, I think Winnipeg pulls off the shocker in week 1. And also want to give a huge shout out to Winnipeg Bomber fan forums as well as Montreal Alouette fan forums for always showing football game plan support.